Hello YouTube, as you can see outside behind me on the window, did I check correctly, spring is in the air, at last, adieu with all the rain, and I'm gonna zoom in a bit because my mug is far away. 1 second. Oh, where's the bloody button? There it goes. Yay. All victory. So then you can see my new fresh haircut. So spring is in the air, days are longer, more painting time, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most controversial topics in wargaming, and I know that some people I know are not going to be agreeing with me, even at the club, especially at the club. It's nothing personal, it's just a personal opinion, that's why it's called an opinion piece, and that's about, should you paint your armies before you put it on the table? Now, I'm a bit of an elitist in that one. I'm not a great painter, but I can paint fast and swift enough using washes, dry brushes, all the techniques to get my figures on a tabletop standard. So let me get one somewhere here out of the cabinets behind me. It's nothing fancy. Here we go. Let's take an exalted Champion Slanish. So it's the one that came with the Dark Vengeance box. Painted with washes, dry brushes. Pretty simple paint job actually, because it's usually a 2-color tone and not the 3-color system that I tend to use on the more detailed figures like the Crisis Limited Editions. And that takes me about an evening of painting. Well, you got the undercoat, and the day after that you do the washing. But all in all, time together about a day. And ever since I started wargaming, when I bought Warhammer, accidentally actually, it's a nice story, I thought it was a HeroQuest expansion. In 1992 I have never put anything unpainted on the table. Not even back then, even though the miniatures looked like total shite. You know, the stuff, you got your metal, you paint over it barely, shines through halfway, you never had heard of undercoats and everything. I was like 14 years old, so. But anyway, I always follow the principle, I'd rather play with a smaller battle or use units that I don't really like or couldn't use against that particular opponent if it's painted, instead of taking along something unpainted. Now my regular opponent, Nemesis, Guy, he's of the same opinion, so when he had a few months ago a few bases not finished on his whole army, just like 5 bases or something, I couldn't stand, resist just dissing him about it. Yeah, psychological warfare and everything. That's what you get when you play 20 years against each other, just for the fun of it. But I was working on something for the American Civil War mega game we're hosting at CSA beginning of June the 9th. There's also a big buy and sell and scenery piece, something I haven't shown it on my painting desk videos because it's like a secret project, whatever, but let's give you a hint for the first time. Consider I play the Union. You know what I'm building. Yeah, it's the MDF one. So I was thinking, what about playing armies now? We're also playing a big battle 40k in a few weeks time, end of May. Gonna be 60,000 points, so that's a huge amount. 24 players. The max per player was out at 30,000 points, but there are some people with small collections and everything, so it's going to be huge. But are all the armies going to be painted? I do not know, and frankly I personally do not care, but it's a matter of pride for myself to have it all painted up, because we had the French-Indian War game, which was all visually pleasing, even though my personal game in there was a bit on the well, let's be nice and put it on the boring side, because I had the rear guard, and the rear guard didn't lose one shot in the whole game. I spent the first 3 hours or 4 hours of the game just waiting until all the rest was past the bridge and I could go move a bit, and by the time I came into the range we called it a day because it was 6 o'clock. But we won, so who cares? We won. Haha. Poor French. No, but well, that happens in those sort of games. They always have players who are in the middle of stuff, like mate of mine, Glenn. Whatever game he plays, you just know he's going to charge forward like a Viking. Must be something genetically or something that they forgot to take it out. But anyway, that's the stuff on that part. The American Civil War, which Glenn is hosting, and the Viking battle he's doing in October. Somewhere on the blog, I'm going to put a link in the description, will be what we have at the moment for Mega Battles Planet Tin Soldiers of Antwerp. But he utters the rule, if it's not painted, it's not allowed on the table. So to that end, I'm also painting up my American Civil War, the scenery, more regiments, everything you want. It's estimated that the American Civil War battle will have 85 units of 20, and then all the additional stuff on the table, so that's about 1600 figures, more than 1600 figures, so that's a nice amount as well. Going to the 2000 mark even, with all the generals and cannons and that sort of stuff as well. Cavalry, so I don't know, it's going to be 2000, yeah, around 2000 figures I estimate. I haven't seen the exact plans yet. But that brings us back to the topic, should armies be painted? Now, as you might know, since I'm on the board, I am also a bit of responsible to make the club magazine, well, newsletter stuff. I refurbished it past quarter, and spread the word and everything on the internet, show pictures, blah blah blah. And, well, this is stuff to say without stepping on people's toes, but it doesn't look nice if it's not all painted. Now I know I'm not judging any people on that, because I make time painting. When Nashi has night shifts and everything, I'll put in a shift till 2-3 hours at night painting figures. I know that's not feasible. Kids, children in the house, married life, social life, everything, it comes in the way. But what I think personally is, then, should you play 3000 points with 2/3 unpainted, or should you just play 1000 points and have it all painted? It's a balance issue. Something everybody has to make out for himself, but for me, I would play 1000 points. 3000 points not painted is no go. I even painted my knight. I don't know if you followed on the blog, one day, just to make a statement to Nemesis, who was laughing with me that I already assembled my legs while I bought mine from him. And I was like, I'm gonna beat you to it, and I assembled day 1, undercut day 2, painted completely day 3, so up yours, Nemesis. Well, in the meantime he finished his knight as well, so it doesn't matter at all. We have a night battle into the end of April, so that's I don't know, around the we're the 19th today, or the 18th, well, taping this 2 days in front, so well, not quite sure when I'm uploading this. So that's next Friday, so expect a big battle report. I'm gonna be around 30 knights or other Lord of War things, be them Tau, Shadow Blades, whatever on the table, so I'm playing with the Gundam and a knight, because only we need 2 knights instead of 1, so painted Gundam. So yeah, that's gonna be a nice report, but we'll see how that goes. Looks like a special battle to me. And then we got the month later the big 40k battle. Then in August there's a big Age of Sigmar battle. Sandwiched in between that is the American Civil War battle, and then we also have the big Viking invasion of England battle coming up, and that's only the first 4 that I know at the moment that are going to be played. So it's a lot of painted figures. Now I'm not personally playing in Age of Sigmar. I tried the game, didn't like it. I'm going to do the bar that day. Somebody on the board needs to do the bar anyway, so I can help him out in that way. It's gonna be my contribution to it. But the thing that I'm actually taping this is, well, first of all, I'm gonna state my opinion, my baseline opinion. I do not care if my opponent's army is fully painted. Unfortunately, a lot of people these days don't have fully painted armies, it seems, because when I was looking for a picture to make our 40k banner on our Facebook group, I really had a hard time looking with my opponents in my folders to find a picture of painted miniatures with both sides, and so in the end I settled on the unit of Nemesis, because I try to avoid my own figures. It's something personal. I don't advertise things using my own figures. I use them from other people. because otherwise they might think, oh, he's using his old stuff because he's making... No, so I'm not doing that, period. Might sound silly, but it's like a thing I do. In Dutch we have a saying, well in Flemish, agelofting, so which basically means if you're only using your own stuff for your own glory and advertising and picture and everything... Oh, that was the WhatsApp, so it seems the girlfriend is awake. She came from the night shift. So I'll see to that in a moment. Looks like it's urgent. But that's why I don't use them. So when I play a one-on-one game on a regular Friday evening, I don't mind if my opponent's figures are grey, middle... Yeah, well, not bases, because then you don't see what's out there. When you go to big battles and mega games, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but I still don't mind at all, because at that moment it's just about people gathering around the table and having fun. And I know there are people who are more into the gaming part, and there are people who are more into the painting part, and then, you know, those guys who put everything on every middle level and are afraid to touch their own figures. And then there are people like me, like I consider myself, and Nemesis, who are into the hobby part, being like the whole shebang, scenery, houses, painting your figures, everything like that. So I can still live with that. And then there's the final part, and that's maybe why I am making this video. We're now open on Saturdays. We got big expenses coming up at the club, like the roof needs to be replaced, and to that end we are going to run some events, tournaments, that kind of stuff. And for that I am seriously considering of implementing a strong painting point mark when we go do that. So like when I used to play tournaments way back in the 2000s, you had like 3 battles. I'm just going to take a Warhammer or a 40k example. 3 battles, all for 20 points. Then you got 20 points, which was like all stuff, woe factor, army lists, correct, sportsmanship, everything. And then you had 20 points on painting. So that was 1/5 painting, and that could decide between winning or losing a tournament if your army was just painted. I always aim for the 12, 13 mark, everything based, everything painted, some conversions, that kind of stuff. So that wouldn't kill my result or boost my result. Period. But I am even thinking of going in the direction of 1/4 of the points when we do something on painted models only. Just because 1, I can, 2, I'm snobbish about it, and 3, it might actually motivate people on painting, because that's a dilemma I've heard when talking to people. There are 2 sorts of ideas going around at the moment in the club. The one is you need to implement the not painted, not on the table rule to motivate people to paint their army so they can actually bring them along. While another stretching of the idea is it might scare people off to join in the game because they don't have enough painted models. I don't know which is the correct answer. I'm going to mull on that in the future. And before I ever start organizing something, which might be well, I'm aiming summer vacation, September, that era. But as well, I don't know. I truly say I do not know. I know what I want personally, I want to know what I do personally, but I do not know what would be good to implement in the game. So if you get any opinions or thoughts, please share, because I'm not quite sure. So that's it for this little rant. I'll get back on this in a few weeks probably, or a month or 2, 3. But most important is have fun in the game and enjoy the hobby like you do. It's not because I say something that means that's a law or something. So cheers, and till next time.